got into Yemi's mind. Maybe I should push them into this water. At least if they are gone, my parents will focus more on me. Just as it's a beautiful Saturday evening. Yemi can finally rest after she was done with today's chores. She dashed into the bathroom, took a quick shower, and decided to quickly take a nap because she was so tired, tossing around on the bed, unable to sleep due to the loud TV noise coming from the sitting room. A few minutes later, at last, she was almost falling asleep when she heard someone shouting her name. "Sister Yemi, Mommy said you should come and wash my bum bum," her little brother called from the toilet. Yemi stood up from the bed angrily, walked past her parents who were watching TV in the sitting room, and headed to the toilet to go clean up her little brother. While she was done and was heading back to her room, her dad called her back. "Yemi, please go and get me cold water from the fridge," her father said, while her younger sister was sitting beside her dad watching TV. "Okay, sir," Yemi answered, frowning her face while walking to the kitchen to get the water. Yemi walked into the sitting room with the bottle of water and served her dad, and was heading back to her room to continue her sleep when her mom called her name. "Yemi, get me a bottle of cold water from the kitchen," she said. Yemi, who was already hungry, said, "Why didn't this woman tell me she wanted water when I was serving dad?" she thought. Yemi headed to the kitchen and came out with a bottle of cold water, handing it over to her mom, and was heading back to her room when her mother reminded her, saying, "Yemi, please don't forget to start boiling the rice in the next 30 minutes and also make the stew for the rice," the mother said. Yemi answered, "Okay, ma," stamping her feet on the ground severally and grumbled while heading to her room to relax a bit before it was time to make dinner. The next morning, Yemi woke up as early as 5 a.m. to prepare food for the family, as her mother always told her she was the second mother of the house. Therefore, she had to set the house in order. She boiled water for her two siblings, prepared their lunch boxes, and would take them to their various schools before coming back to prepare herself for school. Most times, she gets to school very late, warranting her teachers and friends, always asking her why she is always late to school. But Yemi will always give them lame excuses. This goes on for years, which gradually made Yemi felt like her parents doesn't love nor care about her, because even the simplest house chores, as washing plates, which her other 10-year-old sister can do, her mother will still insist that Yemi washes the plates. Every day, Yemi will wake up very early, prepare food for the family, fetch water for the house, take care of her younger ones, and on Saturday, after doing all the house chores, she will still go over to her mom's store to help her. Even on Sunday after church, Yemi will either be cooking or ironing her family's clothes in preparation for the new week. Yemi started feeling as if she was not part of the family, while she is busy doing one house chores or the other. The other siblings will be studying or watching TV. This made Yemi start hating her siblings because of how her parents treated her. While they praised her siblings for their great performance in school, they scolded Yemi for her poor performance in school. One day, Yemi got to school very late, which resulted to her class teacher punishing her that morning. During the breaking hour, one of her friend named Murayo asked Yemi, "Why do you really come to school late?" Murayo said, "I remember you told me you always wake up as early as 5 o'clock. So how come you always come to school late?" "Me, I wake up 6 a.m. sometimes 6:30 and I still make it to school before 8 a.m. Not to talk of you that wake up 5 a.m. Yemi," Murayo said. "Well, you will not understand though, my friend," Yemi answered. "I prepared breakfast for my family and also take my siblings to school before preparing myself to school," Yemi said. Murayo in shock. "How about your mom?" Yemi answered. "My mom, she goes to her store as early as 7 a.m., leaving me with my siblings. And I have to take them to school before coming to school," Yemi said. For me, I don't even have to wake up 5 a.m. My mom wakes up to make my food and also help me get ready before she leaves for her work," Murayo said. "Thank God I don't have any brother or sister to take to school," Murayo also said. She advised Yemi to talk to her parents about it. On getting home, Yemi made up her mind to talk to her parents the next day, which was the weekend. On Sunday, after they all got back from church, her mom and her siblings were watching TV in the sitting room. And as usual, Yemi was in the room ironing her parents' and siblings' clothes in preparation for the new week. While she was contemplating about telling her parents or not, she finally summoned up the courage to talk to her parents about what was bothering her. She walked into the sitting room and told her parents, "Mom, Dad, please, I have something I want to discuss with you," while joining them to watch TV. "Am I really your child?" Yemi asked. They didn't hear her at first, so she took the remote, said sorry before reducing the volume, and then she asked again, "Am I really your child?" "What?" her mom asked. She stared at Yemi in surprise. The dad also asked Yemi, "What kind of question is that?" Also shocked and surprised. Yemi answered, "You don't love me. You made me do all the house chores alone and even the little things that my sister and brother can do. You will still insist I do them. Why?" Yemi said, crying. "What and what do you even do, Seth? Is it not your mate who even do more? Come on, keep quiet," her mother shouted. "So you expect me to do all the house chores?" Yemi mother said. "That is not what I mean, mommy. For example, for the past 4 days, I have not been feeling well and none of you noticed it," Yemi said, crying. The father shouted, "Please go inside if you don't have anything to say." Yemi stood up, walked into her room, and continued crying. This continued for months. Gradually, Yemi started hating her siblings. She would shout on her siblings at the slightest mistake they make, and when her siblings report Yemi to their parents, they would scold and punish Yemi. One day, while Yemi was walking home from school, holding her siblings, and was about crossing the road that was flooded because it rained earlier that day. An evil thought got into Yemi's mind. Maybe I should push them into this water. At least if they are gone, my parents will focus more on me. Just as Murayo's parents, she thought. And without thinking twice, she pushed her siblings into the water. Without knowing that passerby were watching her, but Yemi's siblings were lucky enough to be rescued by the passerby and were immediately rushed to the hospital. Yemi's parents were shocked and devastated by her actions. They realized that they had been neglecting her feelings and ignoring her needs for far too long. When they all got home from the hospital, they sat Yemi down and had a heart-to-heart conversation with her, apologizing for their oversight and promising to make things right. Yemi slowly began to realize that her parents loved her so much, but they were just too busy and stressed to show it properly. She also learned that her hatred towards her siblings was misplaced, with a renewed sense of understanding and love within her family. Yemi apologized to her siblings and made a conscious effort to mend their relationship. In the end, Yemi learned a valuable lesson about the importance of empathy and forgiveness within the family. Her parents made sure to treat Yemi and her siblings equally and also made sure she was not overworking herself. And from that day on, Yemi felt truly loved and accepted by her family, knowing that they would always be there for her no matter what.